What's up, guys? My name's Nick. That's all you need to know right now. Yesterday I did a review of the e-cig Juul. It was actually my review update, kind of letting you guys know after 2 weeks or so, about a week and a half actually, kind of how I still felt about the Juul and what I thought about it, what my really final thoughts were about it. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed that one. And I apologize for the bumpy and the shaky video, kind of. I'm in my truck. That's where I spend most of my time because I'm driving to work and stuff. So I just set up this nice little stand so I don't have to have my camera down staring at my knees. So today I want to talk about marriage. That's right, I want to talk about marriage. September 29th, I got married this past year. Just a month ago, just trying to think now. It's going to be a month ago in 3 days. So, a lot of people ask me, and you know, it's kind of redundant, but a lot of people ask me, oh man, has everything changed? What's it like being married? What are you thinking? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I know that when I was younger, it was distilled, it was ingrained in my head. Not from my parents, but it was ingrained in my head. You know, older guys that were married, like, oh man, never get married. It's the worst thing you can do in your damn life. Don't you ever get married, boy. You get married, you creating a sin, man. You gonna, you know. And so when you're younger, as a man, that scares you, you know. So girls, if you have any questions as to why your guy's not proposing to you, why don't you just take a look back in his psyche, and you can check back the last 15, 20 years of his life, depending on how old he is. That'll tell you why he's scared of getting married. So it's not really us, it's kind of what we've been taught when we're growing up. But needless to say, I've been with my wife now. We married for about a month. We've been together over 4 years. So really that's not that long, but it's compared to nowadays, you know, to how long people are staying together, how long people are staying married and stuff. It's a long time, but what I can say, nothing really changes. Mentally, yeah, things change. At least me, I gained a little bit more respect for my wife. Not that I didn't have any before, but when we were married, I started looking at things a little bit differently. And it's like the perfect next level of a relationship if you're ready for it. I just, you know, when we got married, it was like this feeling of, like, I didn't think I could love this girl anymore, and I was totally wrong. When you get married, you're like, wow, because I think you realize this is the person I'm going to spend the rest of my life with. And you know, even before we got married, I was already thinking that. I mean, oh shit, going around this turn on the expressway, and it's a little slippery. Oh god, oh man. But yeah, so before we were married, we were saying we were already married. We were practically married before we were married. But when you get married, there's like this mental thing that goes on, and it's great. I love it. I've been enjoying it ever since. And we're still early on in our marriage. But what I will say is, prior to getting married, we've been in that silly honeymoon stage our entire relationship. Yeah, it's not like the honeymoon stage like when you first you know, get together and everything, but it's pretty damn close because we're still learning things about each other. We still have, you know, awesome stories that we're telling each other that we didn't know about, and there's still a lot to learn. There's people that have been together 50 years, married 50 years, and they still don't know everything about each other. And I think that's the beauty about being married, is looking forward to more stories. You know, I love a good story. So yeah, marriage hasn't changed changed me. It made me love her even more, and you know, I could confidently say it changed the same for her. but things have gotten better. So all you out there, all you men out there who are scared to marry, you know, your current girlfriend, I understand where you're coming from. Here's the thing, you don't want to get married to someone you're not 100% sure about. So if you're not 100% sure, don't get married, because a lot of people do that. They spend like $50,000 on a wedding, and then 2 weeks later they're not want to be married anymore because they're like, oh shit, this is so weird. I didn't want to marry this girl. I just wanted to sleep with her. And that's a big problem nowadays, because you got the internet, you got Instagram, you got so many outlets, so many things that are going on in your brain, and you know, we live in the world of social media. So we're away from reality, and it's taking away from what's important in real life, and it's not giving us a clear perspective on our relationships, you know, in the real world. So, you know, don't marry the wrong person. Definitely don't do that. Don't jump into it because you're pressured. Do it when you're ready. Another thing that we did is we didn't get married right away. We had been engaged for, I want to say, 2.5 years or so before we even got married, before we thought about getting married, or before at least we started planning it. We didn't want to feel rushed, you know. And people asked us right when we got engaged, "Oh, when are you guys getting married?" It's like, dude, let us enjoy this part of our marriage, or this part of our relationship, because you only get engaged once, hopefully. That's my goal. Only get engaged once, only get married once, all that. So why are we gonna rush it? Why am I gonna rush this engagement? I mean, if we're gonna be together for our entire lives, what's the point of putting emphasis on getting married as soon as possible? It just doesn't make sense. So we waited, and I'll tell you what, that made it a lot better, because we were able to get stuff done in between and do fun stuff. And we lived in an RV for five months, and we got to do things, you know. And we're still going to continue to do things. And I feel like the way that we went about it was the least path of resistance, and it worked out really great. And I'm really happy how it turned out. So, you know, I'm not one to give advice. I'm not the perfect person, but just kind of telling from experience, if you have the chance and you have the choice, first of all, make sure you're going to marry the right person, for sure. Don't do it under pressure. Second of all, when you do pop that question and she absolutely says yes because you're a handsome person, you know, wait it out. Don't feel rushed into getting married. Enjoy your years of being engaged, because it's such a fun time being engaged. I mean, such an awkward moment when you're like, shit, do I say this is my girlfriend or do I say fiance? Because when you say fiance, it kind of sounds like you're being cunty, but it's not. It's true. That's your fiance. So I had like 2.5 years of feeling like I was being cunty by saying my fiance. You know, I would always say it with a British accent. Someone would be like, oh, you know, they'd be having a conversation. I'd be like, well, my fiance. And I'm like, sorry, I don't usually speak with an accent, but when I say that word, it just makes me say it like that. So I had 2.5 years of it, saying it like that. And now I can finally say, my wife. Huh? That sounds a lot better than my fiance, I'll tell you that much. It's a lot shorter, too. My wife. My son bitch wife. I like that. Yeah, it sounds good. It's got a good ring to it. And you get to wear this fancy piece of metal right here. So, yeah, that's all I got for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you can take some of this advice and, you know, and do whatever you want with it. If you want to marry the wrong person, rock on. If you want to marry the right person, awesome. If you're going to get married next year, invite me. That's all I got to say. Guys, make sure you subscribe to my channel. I'm going to keep making these videos solely for myself, but if you guys are watching, why the hell not keep doing it, you know? Have a wonderful day.